This is the thing that it's really frustrating, and I might not be moving the needle anywhere closer to a more sovereign country by saying this. Um, and you might find my patriotism in question for saying this, but I think it's very honest. I think of course, we should have um, a legal system for immigrants. Of course, every immigrant here should be a legal immigrant. Of course. But there are people who are brought here and they're like 6 months old and they've been here for 20, 30 years. I'm fine with deporting those people. I'm just saying that's a big deal. That's a huge deal. People who have built their life here, as if like to be born American, just their family fucked up. Fair enough. But what I actually do not get is all of the people who go online and they're like, when they see this mass self deportation thing, and they're like, good, they need to give us back our money, etc. All the stuff we lost, as if they weren't given it by the government. The government's the ones that are thieves that gave them the money. The government's the ones that provided open borders. The government's the one who caused this chaos under President Biden. So I wouldn't hate the people who just walked across the border. I would hate the people that allowed them to. You're hating on millions of people who are given basically a pass to come and walk across the border, and that's just uncalled for bigotry. And I'm not virtue signaling. That is what it is. It is, if you're just hating them just because they're illegal immigrants who are allowed to come here, unfortunately, illegally, but with like fucking executive orders and shit that allowed them to come here, they're just taking advantage of the opportunity bestowed to them. Just like you did when you got that $120,000 job. Just like you did when you lied to your boss to get a better job. Just like you did when you lied your way to a better credit score. Just like you did when you decided to be a little dishonest to make an extra paycheck. Just like you did when you lied about your dad who did drugs. And I honestly never lied about all the bullshit that happened with my family, but just like you did when your mom was a stripper when you were young. Or just like you did when you were raised by good folks, but they were overly abusive pieces of shit actually, because they kept on beating you and beat the truth into you, and that's how you think the world runs. But it's not actually, because 85% of the Americans get spanked anyways. These fucking brats here in college are not taught the right way. Instead, you're telling them that they need to be spanked, and they have already been beaten. That's why they're fucking psychotic. They're psychopaths. They're claiming victimhood for the wrong shit. It's child abuse, honestly, all over. But here we are, hating on these poor folks, which look like damn near 13, 17% of the country. In the sense that they're working class types of people, in the sense that they're Christians, in the sense that they're deeply founded in their roots. I get that there's MS-13. I get that there's this is why we need legal immigration. I'm just saying that we shouldn't hate on them while they're walking across the border back over to Mexico. That makes not a fucking sense. When they were given a pass to come across the border to begin with, how does that make a fucking sense? You're gonna hate on um, some random Mexican name because he took advantage of an opportunity that all Americans do anyways. took advantage of going, like any American could take advantage of financial aid and go to college for fucking 6 years and get a master's degree. Yes, you can with the accelerated program. I'm just making the point. It sucks that they're here, but I don't hate them. Like, those of you who hate on them, you're like the reason why we get these names and labels. The reason why it's hard to be read to begin with. There's a lot of people who align with Republican values, constitutionalism, and minimal government, even minimum women's rights on abortion and stuff. Not completely out of it, because that's why they're moderates, but like, for instance, they might follow the 7-week rule or the 12-week rule. 12 weeks is a hell of a lot closer to 0 than fucking 20. But here you are, sitting on your high horse, hating on these people. As a Christian, I don't know, I'm not Christian, but as a Christian, judging profusely. Openly. And everybody sees this shit and they're like, wow. Sounds a lot like the liberals who got mad at conservatives and started hating on conservatives too. And said, oh, well, God punished the conservatives when hurricanes came and hit Florida and Louisiana, and a lot of people were out of homes. Just like some of the conservatives today are like, well, God's punishing the liberals because in California, and that's why it's burning down. You know, it's not the brush that Gavin Newsom didn't fucking clean up or that he finds against.